In the news this week, politicians out in force as the election battle begins.
Plus, billions of dollars at risk over Aboriginal land title rulings.
This is the Evening News with Ivan Lung and Daniel Stanislav.
Good evening. The campaign is on and the drums are beating. With less than 5 weeks to polling day, Liberal and Labor are chasing the top prize to govern Western Australia in the midst of uncertainty. Nelson Liu begins our coverage on week 1 of the state election campaign trail.
It's been on for months, but the fight for the state's top job has officially begun.
Later on today, the Premier will formally call the election for March 11, 2017.
With Premier Colin Barnett calling the election 5 weeks until polling day, both he and opposition leader Mark McGowan have strengthened their pitches for government. Mr Barnett has pointed to his record as Premier as proof of the government's experience while promoting plans for school infrastructure.
It's the thing I do. It's the thing I think I do fairly well. My opponent, Mark McGowan, has very limited experience. That is a problem.
Meanwhile, the opposition is pushing to diversify the economy, reallocate railway funds, create more jobs and education support, with traineeships for young people a key promise.
Training and apprenticeships are important. I believe in training and apprenticeship.
Labor has emphasised cutting spending and debt while growing the economy, but the Liberals want the opposition to come clean on how they'll pay for their promises.
They're not convinced Labor will fulfil its promise to return WA to surplus if elected.
His system is not credible.
Nelson Liu, WAMN News.
Aboriginal land rights remains a burning issue with the federal court strikes down the deal. The latest fallout may mean that billions of dollars worth of mining, petroleum leases, land development titles and government tenure approvals may become invalid. Cassandra Elliott reports.
This week, a federal court ruling resulted in the overturning of a nationwide legal precedent used to negotiate land use agreements outside of the courts. Mervyn Eaves is the managing director of Nylamaya and was also a plaintiff in this case. He says this ruling is a big win for the Noongar people.
We cannot sell that right to land. That right is birthrights to our people, cultural and spiritual beliefs and belonging to the land. The land owns our people. We do not own the land, therefore we cannot sell the land.
Labor's Shadow Minister for Aboriginal Affairs, Ben Wyatt, disagrees with the court's ruling.
I'm very disappointed that the full federal court has made this decision in respect of the native title settlement over the southwest of Western Australia. I hope this can be rectified because ultimately it's my view that the settlement of native title is good for the Noongar people.
As a result of this week's court ruling, billions of dollars worth of land development deals, mining and petroleum leases may potentially become invalid. The question now is whether these contracts need to be renegotiated by both parties. Cassandra Elliott, WAMN News.
Protesters have been moved on by City Council rangers and police during a small demonstration outside the State Administrative Tribunal. Homeowners who are affected by alleged poor quality new dwellings criticised the legal system and said it's unfair. The demonstrators are members of the Shonky Builders WA Facebook group, where disgruntled home buyers can voice their concerns.
With Shonky Builders and the buildings that they build, you can't get your money back, you're trapped, you've got hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in your dream home and it has been ruined, so you can't even hand it back. So these laws have got to be changed.
Danny Green and Anthony Mundine fought at Adelaide Oval in what's been called the event of the year. This second grudge match is worth an estimated $30 million for the pair. These fighters can also expect to receive money from gate tickets and pay-per-view buys. Bars and clubs were filled with patrons looking forward to the match.
I reckon, Danny will get in there and take it away.
Yeah, go Danny.
Danny Green has won the match, leaving a legacy in his final fight ever.
The British government has presented a Brexit bill to Parliament with 12 objectives attached to the legislation as UK pulls out of the European Union. The white paper was presented to the House of Commons, with the paper entitled as The United Kingdom's Exit from and New Partnership with the European Union. British Prime Minister Theresa May says the country was divided and the division have taken time to heal.
We gave the right of judgment on this issue to the British people. They made their choice. They want to leave the EU. The question every member must ask themselves as they go through the lobbies tonight is, do they trust the people?
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has sacked his spy chief over allegations of corruption and power abuse. The ex-spy chief Kim Won-hong was demoted from a 4-star general to 1-star. Several other staffers were also arrested. It's understood that General Kim played a significant role in arresting Kim Jong-un's uncle, who was executed for treason in 2013. The general's reduced appearance beside the leader was deemed as a sign of fallout of favour.
And finally this week, Chinese and Australian culture is set to be merged in a new Perth exhibition highlighting Western Australia's fashion industry. The design take inspiration from Chinese fashion, tradition and culture for the display in the form of dramatic gowns and skirts. Some of the designers used Chinese zodiac as inspiration, paying homage to the year of rooster, while others have turned to the symbols of wealth and prosperity.
I really want to showcase from my collection to show the Chinese traditional culture and the intangible cultural heritage.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
Must be one of your favourite colours.
Yes.
And those are the top stories you need to know this week.
We have more news on our website and Facebook. See you next week.
See ya.